And now I'm going to share something very intimate with you. It's my story. Those people who have read my book have read the chapter called I Am Not a Worthless Piece of Shit. Because that's what I was called by my own mother for 45 years of my life. A few years ago, my mother had a stroke. She went through 4 different wars in her lifetime. And so there's a lot of ancestral traumas, and from her parents who went through First World War and Second World War. All her brothers and sisters got taken by the Japanese people and all of that. She went through all the revolution, lost my dad and all of that stuff. Anyway, she had a stroke when she was 78 or 79. Now she's a very traditional Chinese woman who has never exposed even her shoulder to the outside world. When she had a stroke, she could not care for herself, obviously. She was in a hospital and she was very, very concerned about her privacy. So the nurses who wanted to look after her were not even allowed to undress her. So I was her only carer. Now she lost her bowel function and she could not shower or bath herself. So I look after her. One day, she needed to go and have a shower. When I was just about to shower her, something hit me. One of my trauma surfaced. When I was 9 or 10, she got very angry with me one time. I was in the shower. She dragged me out of the shower, hit my head against the wall, and kicked me outside, threw me out. And so when I was about to shower her, that trauma came up to me and I was frozen. So what went into me at that moment in time was, I could not even explain to you what it was. It was like I got transported back there. And so all the pain that I was experiencing at that time all came back to me, and I lost my intelligence. I actually lost my ability to even think. That's how powerful certain trauma is to someone's brain. And I thought I have dealt with it a long time ago, but it was still there. So it triggered. And so I was frozen. And so she was like, come on, quickly, shower me. And at that time, her voice transported me back to then, when she was shouting and screaming at me. And this rage suddenly came out. I had this sensation of rage. How dare you treat a little kid like this? How dare you? If you're a human being, why would you do that? I went straight into this righteous judgment of another person, of another human being. And it almost debilitated me, almost debilitated my ability to shower her. My hands were in the air and was shaking. I watched that. My consciousness was alert enough to watch me going through that traumatic experience right there and then. Then I had to make a decision. I take a deep breath and then I'm like, ask myself, okay, now who do I want to be? Who am I at this point in my life? Am I my past? Am I going to allow this past to affect the decision that I make today? Who do I want to be? Do I want to be a person who holds the grudges and takes this pain forward with me? Or do I want to be a creator who creates my own reality? Who do I want to be? Am I going to be a compassionate person? This is my mother. And if this is not my mother, even this is somebody else, would I help this person? The answer is yes, without thinking very quickly. So then I have to then go into my own being and connect to her and watch the judgment, watch the frequency of judgment fall away. I could actually see the collapse of the structure of the old trauma collapse like a scaffold. Then I started to shower her, and every time I touch her with my hand, I say, I love you. I forgive you. I forgive you. I'm sorry for judging you. Please forgive me for judging you. Thank you for everything you have done for me. Without you, I would not be who I am today. Thank you for me to stand on your shoulder, to become who I am today. And she started to cry. I did not say a word. I was only silently transmitting that energy to her. Please forgive my judgment against you. I'm sorry for trespassing on your divinity. I love you. All I want is your happiness. All I want is for you to experience love from me. I recite that again and again and again, and all the energy with the water, which is a medium, it goes into her energy field. And then she just broke down, crying, without knowing what I was doing. She was half paralyzed. This is a person who had a 75% infection on their brain. So consciousness talks to consciousness. People can't understand each other when they are talking mind to mind because it's ego against ego, story against story. There's no unified field. There's no unified frequency of love. There's no coherence. It is your chaos against my chaos. So my mother turned around and gave me the biggest hug. She's never, ever hugged me. I was 48 years old. No, I wasn't. I was 51. I was 51. She's never hugged me until then. This is how you heal people. Your humility. Your intention to be the representative of the divine. There's nothing else in this world but love that is going to change the world. You can't change the world without frequency of love. And you are one